Hey, hello. Today we are coming from the book of Luke, first chapter, and we'll be going through the 5th through the 17th verse, and then we'll continue with the rest. In the time of Herod, king of Judea, there was a priest named Zachariah who belonged to the priestly division of Abijah. His wife was Elizabeth, was also a descendant of Aaron. Both of them were righteous in the sight of God, observing all the Lord's commands and decrees blamelessly. But they were childless because Elizabeth was not able to conceive, and they were both very old. Once, when Zachariah's division was on duty and he was serving as priest before God, he was chosen by Lot, according to the custom of the priesthood, to go into the temple of the Lord and burn incense. And when the time for the burning of incense came, all the assembled worshippers were praying outside. Then an angel of the Lord appeared to him, standing at the right side of the altar of incense. When Zacharias saw him, he was startled and was gripped with fear. But the angel said to him, "Do not be afraid, Zachariah. Your prayer has been heard. Your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son, and you will call him John. He will be a joy and a light to you, and many will rejoice because of his birth. For he will be great in the sight of the Lord. He is never to take wine or other fermented drink, and he will be filled with the Holy Spirit. Even before he is born, he will bring back many filled with the Holy Spirit. Before he is born, he will bring back many of the people of Israel to the Lord their God, and he will go on before the Lord in the spirit and power of Elijah, to turn the hearts of the parents to their children and the disobedient to the wisdom of the righteous, to make ready a people prepared for the Lord." Now, this is talking about John's birth, and this was in the time of King Herod, and you know Herod was the one that was chasing Jesus. There was a priest named Zachariah, and this was John's father. He belonged to the priestly division of Abijah. If you read back in Second Chronicles, you'll find out about Abijah. His wife, Elizabeth, was also a descendant of Aaron. His wife was a descendant of Aaron, the Levite, but she was also Mary's cousin. Both of them were righteous in the sight of God. They were good in the Lord's eye, observing the Lord's commands and decrees blamelessly. They were keeping his commands. But they were childless because Elizabeth was not able to conceive. Elizabeth was not able to conceive because it says here because they were both very old, but even to get up to that time frame, she was not able to conceive even when she was younger. Once, when Zachariah's division was on duty and he was serving as his priestly duties, and he was serving as a priest before God, he was chosen by Lot, meaning they pulled sticks, or we might call a game of chance, shooting dice, or anything like that, according to the, or short of straw. According to the custom of the priesthood, to go into the temple of the Lord and burn incense. That was his job. And when the time came for the burning of incense, they all assembled, all the worshippers, and they were praying outside. When the angel of the Lord appeared to him, standing at the right side of the altar of incense, when Zacharias saw him, he was startled and was gripped with fear. Woo! An angel appeared, and he had popped up. It would probably scare all of us. But the angel said to him, "Do not be afraid." Uh-oh, the angel is a comforter. He says, "Zachariah, your prayer has been heard." Uh-oh, the Lord was attentive to his prayer, and he heard it, and he sent his angel down to tell him. Uh-oh, we got a loving God that would do that for us. "Do not be afraid, Zachariah, your prayer has been heard." He was praying. What was he praying for? "Your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son." Oh, he was praying for a child. A son, even is the one that he's going to get, but he was praying for a child with his wife. And then the angel even told him what the child's name will be. "You are to call him John. He will be a joy and delight to you, and many will rejoice because of his birth. He will be a joy to them, and many will rejoice because of his birth. For he will be great in the sight of the Lord. The Lord already has work for him to do even before he is in the womb. The Lord knows him in the womb, and the Lord does through him in the womb. But then there are some orders that they must follow, some commands. He is never to take wine or other fermented drink, and he will be filled with the Holy Spirit even before he is born. The Lord can do it even before we are thought of, even before the action takes place. He says he will be filled with the Holy Spirit even before he is born. He will bring back many of the people of Israel to the Lord their God. And he's not talking about like he's going to walk around and hurt them up. He is going to be doing the Lord's work, and they're going to come to God because he is going to be preaching and baptizing and teaching. He will do a lot of work for the Lord. He will be filled with the Holy Spirit. So even before his birth, he already has a gift of the Holy Spirit. And he will go before the Lord in the spirit and power of Elijah. And he will turn the hearts of the parents to their children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the righteous. The wisdom is the wisdom of God. And to make ready a people prepared for the Lord. He is the preparer for Jesus Christ. John, and this is John the Baptist, is the one that's preparing the pathway for Jesus Christ. And he knew Jesus in the womb. But John was loved and given even before he was conceived. The Lord knew who he was creating and what the purpose of this vessel was going to be. Amen.